problem here. We are off. Hold on. Ryan's gonna check it out. I can't see anyone anymore. Go ahead. Are we good?
Yeah,
What happened?
I think so that was connected to you.
You were saying, okay.
Yeah.
So when you
I think Madam Clerk might have come off. No, she's on mute.
There you go.
It was Ryan, Mr. President. It wasn't me this time. Ryan threw me off.
Got it.
Oh, give me a second. One second. Give me right there. We're good? Okay, Mr. President, when you are ready, we are ready.
Yeah. So let's begin. So good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Paterson Municipal Council, I welcome you to the regular meeting of Municipal Council. It's a regular meeting tonight, right, Madam Clerk?
Shall closeout meeting.
It's a correct. The closeout meeting of calendar year 2020.
Okay.
Will you call the meeting to order now at this time, Madam Clerk?
Yes, Mr. President. Roll call for Municipal Council special closeout meeting on December 29, 2020 at 6 p.m. Councilman Abdelaziz?
Present.
Thank you. Councilwoman Cotton? Absent. Councilman Davila? Absent. Councilman Jackson? Councilman Jackson's not there. Councilman Khalid?
Present, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Mendez?
Good evening, President, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Councilman Mims? Councilman Glass?
Present, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Mr. President?
Present. Could you call a roll call, Madam Clerk?
Okay. All right. I just did the roll, so I'll do the statement.
The statement of compliance, that's right.
That's okay. Have a long day. Okay. Statement of compliance to the Open Public Meetings Law 2020 to 2021. Meeting date, December 29, 2020. Time, 6 p.m. Adequate notice of this meeting was compiled and disseminated in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Law and the following manner. 1. The annual notice of regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council was compiled for the year 2020 to 2021 on or about July 1, 2020. 2. A schedule of the regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council for the year 2020 to 2021 was duly transmitted on or about July 1, 2022. The North Jersey Herald News, the Record, the Arabic Voice, Italian Voice, the State County Pulse, Germany County News, Fiscal International, El Especial, Paterson Press, City Post News, Tap into Paterson, in addition to any other publication duly requesting such notices. 3. The schedule of the regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council for the year 2020 to 2021 was prominently posted in the lobby of City Hall's first floor in the place reserved for the announcements of this kind. 4. The schedule of the regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council for the year 2020 to 2021 was duly filed with the municipal clerk. 5. A copy of the schedule of regular meetings of the Municipal Council was mailed to any person who requested and paid the fee authorized by the Open Public Records Act. And for the public portion, anyone who wishes to participate, the public portion for tonight's meeting may dial 973-321-1579. Enter code 8326. Press star 1 to listen to the meeting. Press star 2 to leave a recorded comment. and star 3 should be added to the speaker list, Mr. President.
So, Madam Clerk, at this time, there was an item that was going to be presented by the finance, by the CFO, pertaining a possible sale of a lien. And we had a discussion in finance today, and there's some reservations to this item. March, would you like to speak on this item before we contemplate if we're going to vote to add it on the agenda or not?
Council President,
We can't hear you, March. Yes, Councilman Velez.
I don't know if it's healthy to discuss an item before putting it on the agenda?
That's what we're doing right now. We don't have to discuss it depending on what the CFO tell us. Then if we need to discuss, we discuss. If we decide that we should not move based on her reservations, then we don't move and we don't discuss.
Okay.
Then we leave it for a workshop to be discussed if we don't put it on the agenda. Whenever you're ready, March. We can't hear you.
I cannot hear you. I'm still not hearing her. Let me help Brian too. Sorry, Mr. President. Brian, we're having some difficulty with March. There's no audio? Okay, just a minute. Is she downstairs? He's gonna go down to assist her, Mr. President.
Okay.
Yeah, he has to go now. She's on the.
In the meantime, then, it's not part of the agenda, but we discussed a few things in the finance meeting today. One of them is we wanted an update of where we at with the escrow fees. I know you read an article recently. They're still working on it. I advise the administration that the sooner they take care of this, the better it is for the taxpayers of the city. But they are working on it. Hopefully we get an update by the next workshop meeting, and maybe we could put it back on, reinstate it before the date that we had in place. But at the same time, if they cannot address this issue with the escrow, we're going to have to extend it. Not looking forward to that, but we need to do what we need to do. Councilman Abdelaziz.
Council,
Can't hear you.
Council President, I know you do diligence for the taxpayers and always fighting for the taxpayers. Just so we got the control agenda, this is the closeout meeting, so it's supposed to be like business, right?
It is business. No. It is business. The only reason I'm using the time that we're down right now, we can't continue with the agenda until we modify it, right? We might not modify it, so I'm taking the time that Ryan is taking to go downstairs to fix Marge's issue. That's why. If not, could have gone straight to the bills list.
Could we go public portion?
No. The public portion usually. Do you specify a time period, Madam Clerk, for the?
No, I did it this time because it was.
So I'm gonna hold on. So we're gonna take the advice from Councilman Abdelaziz. Could we take the public portion at this time, since we didn't specify at what time we're gonna have it?
It's still gonna need Ryan on the other end.
So either way, we need Ryan. Okay, but that's a good idea, Councilman. But I guess. Can I ask you a question? Can I take the bills list?
Party's on.
Oh, she's on?
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Hello?
Can you hear us?
Yes, we're good.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, Marty's on.
I'm here.
Okay, perfect.
Go ahead, Marge.
Okay, I'm here. Thank you, Ryan. Okay, so this particular municipal lien is very aged. It dates back to 2006. So that means that this lien has been offered for sale time and again, and no one has purchased it. It is it's a property, it's a large property. The assessed value is somewhere in the vicinity of about $2.6 million. And it's a chemical factory that has some contamination with it. The cost of cleanup is unknown to us. And so that is my only reservation, because I don't know if the city has any specific liability with respect to the costs of the cleanup? And if so, when we would have to put forth those monies? So without due diligence done by the law department to have some sort of outcome on that, I don't think it's advisable to offer this lien. Now, that doesn't mean it can't be it can't be ascertained in the next few weeks. Because I do think if we have an interested party, we should offer this for sale. And
So based on that comment, Marge, I don't think it would be prudent or responsible for us to proceed. I do believe something's got to be done with this property because we're not collecting taxes. We're actually losing money. That property has an assessed value of over $2 million, which is part of the tax calculation for the county. So we're actually paying the county for this property, and it's ridiculous. We should not sit on things. We got to move on things, right? We need to provide some relief to the taxpayers, and we got to be smart in the way we operate the city. And I know Councilman Jackson have been pushing for this. I'm not saying it needs to go to any individuals or any specific parties, but something needs to be done. We need to open up whatever you need to do, open up the process, and if there's an interested party, then you need to make sure you look into this, but it should not remain the way it is right now. Either, I know I asked for this property to be foreclosed about a year ago in finance. I think Councilman Kalik was there. And nothing have been done, which is crazy. Not just this property, but every other lien that we have. We have so many liens in this city, and nothing's being done, which is disturbing. And I've been probably, Marge, you could attest to this, that I've been asking for a foreclosure proceeding to be done for a long time, and it hasn't been done. I'm sure there's a reason why it hasn't been done, but it has to be done. So at this time, we're not going to entertain adding this to the agenda for tonight. If you want to pass a brief comment, Councilman Khalid, go ahead.
Yes. I think, Council President, I think we should look at other properties similar to this as well. Throughout the whole city.
Yep.
Proceed to a foreclosure process or sell, put them on a sell list or something.
Sure.
Throughout the city.
Well, we'll do that. Given that this is not on the agenda, let's proceed. Let's not discuss this item. So we're going to go to the payment of bills at this time.
Yes, Mr. President.
So I'm going to do the motion while presenting it, and then we're going to need a second after I present it. So payment of bills, we have $9,054,473.42, of which $5,455,383.22 are for payroll. I also noticed that, just want to point out that after we wrote the issue last week about the escrow, there is an escrow payment here. At least one payment is coming out of the escrow, or two payments, totaling $57,606.88. I just want to point it out. I'm sure the administration have a lot of work to do, coming up to date with all the charges to the escrow. But that concludes this bills list. So we have a second on this bills list.
Second, Council President.
So, Madam Clerk, moved by myself, second by Councilman Mendez. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Mr. President. Roll call in the regular payment of bills in the amount of $9,054,473.42. Councilman Abdelaziz.
Yes.
Councilman Jackson.
No.
Councilman Khalid.
Yes.
Councilman Mendez.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Velez.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Mr. President.
Yes.
The vote is 5 in favor, 1 against, 3 absent. Payment of bills is hereby adopted. And
Well,
there's one for the COVID, right?
Yeah, I'm looking for that right now, Madam Clerk. Just give me a minute.
COVID.
I know the payment was like for 50-something thousand for COVID, but I can't.
No, it says 41,000.
There you go, 41,000. I'm looking for it. I can't find it though, Madam Clerk.
It's behind. I think it's behind the other one. It's stuck behind the other one.
let me see.
So this is coming over to help you. It's supposed to be here.
No, I had it before. I read it and everything, but since you guys gave me a new packet here,
Yeah.
I must have mixed them up, both of them.
Maybe, oh, she's bringing up one over for you, another packet.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll be there. She's on her way.
Oh, I have it here. I found
You
it.
got it? Okay.
Yes. So the next bills list is 41,000. This is for COVID. $41,044.60. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, second, moved by myself and second by Councilman Mendez. Roll call, Madam
Yes,
Clerk.
Mr. President, roll call in COVID-19, payment of bills in amount of $41,044.60. Councilman Abdulaziz. Councilman? He was there. Councilman Jackson?
I'm sorry, Madam Clerk, my vote is no.
Your vote is no. Okay. Councilman Khalid?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Mendez?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Velez?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Abdulaziz, ma'am? Okay. Mr. President?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
So the vote is four in favor, 1 against, and four absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. At this time, we'll do number 10, Madam Clerk.
1 second, Council President. Payment of bills for COVID-19 amount of $41,044.60 is hereby adopted. Number 10, you said?
Yes.
Councilman Abdulaziz has to be back for number.
Yeah, he should be there. I hope he didn't make.
Okay, next item is item number 10. Item number 10, this requires 6 affirmative votes. Resolution authorizing budget transfers, transition year 2020, finance resolution 2724.
So move.
Councilman Velez?
Yes.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Velez, second by Councilman Abdulaziz. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Mr. President. Vote on item number 10 for approval, Councilman Abdulaziz? I couldn't hear. I didn't hear, Councilman.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Councilman Jackson?
Yes.
Thank you. Councilman Khalid?
Yes.
Councilman Mendez?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Velez?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Mr. President,
Yes, Madam Clerk.
the vote is 6 in favor, 3 absent. Item number 10 is hereby adopted.
All right. Madam Clerk, can we do number 9?
Okay. Next item is item number 9, and item number 9 reads resolution authorizing cancellation of transition year 2020 appropriation balances. Finance resolution 2723.
So move.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Velez, second by Councilman Mendez. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Roll call on item number 9 for approval. Councilman Abdulaziz?
Yes.
Councilman Jackson? Councilman? Thank you. Councilman Jackson, I think you're muted. Okay, I'm back.
You can continue.
Councilman Khalid?
Yes.
Councilman Mendez?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Velez?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Okay. Councilman Jackson? Okay, thank you. Mr. President?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. The vote is 5 in favor, 4 absent. Item number 9 is hereby adopted.
Could we do number 11?
Okay. Yes, sir. Next item is item number 11. Next item is item number 11, resolution authorizing calendar year 2021 budget temporary appropriations for the months of January through March 2021. Finance Resolution 2725.
So move.
Moved by Councilman Velez. I'll second that.
Discussion.
Discussion.
Council President, I'm looking here, January to March 2021. So basically I just want to know the total that we are using, 67 million on it, or what is it, 71 million on it?
Yeah, it should be, hold on. 11.
Yeah.
Marge, do you have the total?
It says on the 71,077,000. That's on the
Correct.
budget. He's right.
Yeah.
Give us, if it's possible, Council President, just a simple statement.
I'll give you a quick one.
Yeah,
I'll give you a
please.
quick one. It's the same thing we vote every year. It's 26.25% of the previous year's budget.
Correct.
So it's just a temporary, because by law we need to have a budget at the beginning of the year. This is not the budget this don't have nothing to do with what we discuss in the committee meetings or anything of that nature. This is just a temporary budget for 3 months until they introduce a budget, and then, if we could adopt early, but if not, you're gonna have to ask for another emergency, right? Appropriation?
Exactly.
So that's what it is, Councilman. Councilman Velez.
Do they have it, I'm sorry.
Sorry, go ahead, Councilman Velez.
Do they have a estimated, because we already finished with the budget hearing now, do they have any idea when they come in with the presentation of the budget?
When do you anticipate an introduction of the budget?
And also
Madam VA.
at the same time, if any state aid is coming through this, or, just to give us.
Yes, Council President, that is the one piece of the puzzle that we're waiting for a little clarification on when we are going to be able to introduce. What we want to do is, I think in mapping it out was February. Some of that is going to be based on when we know the transitional aid will be part of the conversation. I think we're all in agreement of what that number is. We're going to follow the standard practice of that 85% of your previous award. So we'll just be continuing, but we'll have to make, that conversation will continue with through February.
How much we requested last time for state aid?
I think it was, I don't know if Marge, you have it off the top of your head, but I could look it up real quick here.
Plus the supplemental aid also, they put it up, right?
Yeah, but let's just.
This is just transitional aid.
Transitional aid.
Yeah.
Correct.
Council President?
Yeah, Councilman Velez.
So this is, Councilman Velez was asking great questions that I just want to piggyback and go on record to the administration. We have transitioned to a calendar year. These temporary allocations for the budget, these temporary appropriations, needs to now not happen as frequent as it used to be because we weren't aligned with the state. I understand this will get us through the first 3 months. I will urge administration to introduce a budget earlier than later, right? I'm not going to set a date. The governor has to present his budget to the legislature in February. So you guys can do your anticipated transitional aid and amend if it's more or less. But the council, the reason why I support a coming to a calendar year is because we could introduce a budget early and everyone has a spending plan. Instead of always having our backs to the wall, we have to pay. We're laying off. So please take this time. I know it's hectic in the department and I know there's a transition march. I'm going to miss you, but we will definitely know that. I'll talk about that later. I know there's a transition, but please, that introduced budget should come earlier than later, and that's what I want to see because this will allow us to make any changes in our spending plan. We have the time, unlike the last 2 years. Every time we're at the 11th hour, we have to pass the budget. We already spent the money. give us the spending plan early, and then it's all yours for the rest of the year. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you.
So, Council President, just quickly, I don't know if it's fair to make the statement or request, knowing that we are going to do a temporary budget. If they come, let's make believe, coming 4 times, this is the same amount, will put us in $284 million budget. If they come with 4 times on the calendar year. So, can I request, if I don't know if a council colleague will agree on with me, to have a hiring freeze into really the administration knows what are we expecting from the state and also what we expecting as a budget to approve. Because I don't want the administration saying, okay, we got 3 months of $71 million and they start hiring in the first 3 months of the month, and then we're gonna be ending, if we don't get what we're getting, probably lay off or hire or eliminate a position because they wasn't ready for having a budget presented or knowing what they're going to receive. I don't know if that's fair, Council President, to say or ask, but I just want to make sure that.
The thing is, Councilman, that's an assessment, for example, that the administration, well, we should not be hiring, a lot of positions either. We should just be filling whatever positions are vacant. But at the same time, at this time, the administration should know where we stand financially, right? And they should go from there. And like the BA stated, they're gonna make the assumption that they're gonna get the 85% of what they got last year, which is something that the state should be happy with. Instead of, I remember the years that we were asking them for more and more. Now we're accepting less. So our ultimate goal is to get a transitional aid without putting the burden on the taxpayers, though. We want to make that clear. So, but that's the plan. They have a plan. We shouldn't tell them, to do a hiring freeze because it could affect the services that we provide the people. Example, DPW. If there's positions that are vacant there that we need to fill, they need to fill them up. We just don't want additional positions that don't exist before. So I understand where you're coming from, Councilman. Thank you.
And Council President, the amount that we received last year of TA was $24,650,000. And so that puts us at about just shy of 21 million for this year's request. And I know that's the target that Marge and her team are sort of working for as we did both the transition year budget and then as we are looking at this full year.
So I know it's not part of this and I don't want to prolong it, but at this rate, when would it be that we will get off transitional aid?
Well, I think this is something that Marge can speak to too, that we're probably not going to ever get to a point where this is zeroed out. That it's more that we would have something fixed as contra. It would become part of our regular state aid package. We wouldn't have transitional aid anymore.
So this is what it is. The mayor is always saying he has those disconnections at the state.
Mm-hmm.
How about in the near future? I don't mean 5 years from now. How about they put some of this money, or we make we put a plan together to lower it, but when it gets to around a certain amount, maybe ask the state to give it to us in another form, because the problem is with this transitional aid that we're getting, we're being forced now through this MOU to increase taxes on a yearly basis by is it 2.5%? 2%. So we need to have the conversation with the state to get rid of this transition aid.
Don't give up more percentages, Council President, not 2.5.
That's right. All right, so let's continue. Let's do the roll call on this one, Madam Clerk.
Sir, roll call on item number 11 for approval, Councilman Abdulaziz.
Yes.
Councilman Jackson.
No.
Councilman Khalid.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Mendez.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Before my vote, and just for the record, at the last budget hearing, I hear a lot of concern about different positions that were on the budget, and definitely some council colleagues recommended the administration to eliminate those positions and make some changes. I definitely urge the administration also as well to present that budget and not going into another temporary appropriation and another one and wait until the very last minute, because I used to see that on previous administrations. So it's my hope that they present those changes on the budget that they will present it to us. My vote is yes, Madam Clerk. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Durant?
I just want to piggyback something that, just remind everyone that this is our first year that we are going calendar year budget. So I know that in the past, probably it was because the fiscal was told different ballgame. Now that the administration had the opportunity that the council give to move forward a calendar year, they be ready to present us the budget that do not affect a negative impact to our taxpayers. So they got 3 months or 2 months or 1 month and a half to catch up to plan and strategy before going to the taxpayers' pocket. My vote is yes.
Thank you. Mr. President?
Madam Clerk, can I reconsider my vote?
Are you going to reconsider your vote on item number 11, Mr. Councilman?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, you may.
Very good. So, I cannot agree anymore with most of the commentary from some of the council members, specifically when Councilman Abdelaziz specifically outlined the parameters in which we all agreed. I think we would now at the year end, we have to acknowledge that since my tenure in the council, this administration has gotten more concessions from the council than any other administration in the past. The main provision in which the majority of the council moved to allow the fiscal year to be changed to a calendar year was so that there would not be any waiting. We'll have an idea, we'll know exactly what our allocation is from the state. And here we are yet again waiting. And here we are yet again, the residents not receiving the services that they've been promised. The city is as dirty as it's ever been. The crime rate is through the roof, with another murder taking place in the first ward, where we have yet to hear anything from the administration on what are we going to do with regard to the ridiculous numbers of violent crimes taking place in the community. So, although I agree completely, wholeheartedly with most of my council colleagues, I am not so optimistic, and or do I want to be so easygoing about it? Well, you know, we hope that you could. No, the promise to the residents was we move to a calendar year so that there will be an opportunity to know exactly and we'll be able to render better services. I challenge anyone, including anyone from the administration, to point out to me where these better services are existing, because I have not been able to witness them. And with that being said, there's no possible way. I appreciate the moment, Madam Clerk, because I wanted to lend some context, but my vote is still a resounding no.
Thank you, Councilman. Mr. President? Mr. President?
Yes, Madam Clerk. So, Madam Clerk, I agree with my colleagues about, expediting and not waiting any longer. But I don't think there's a municipality in the state of New Jersey that adopts a budget or introduces a budget the first day of the year. So, the timeline that you suggested, Madam BA, around February should be acceptable. And hopefully, I do agree with Councilman Jackson, we should have those figures from the state. And maybe we could adopt our budget early, maybe March or April, right? Depending on our financial situation. But we should not go more than half of the year. Now that we changed to a calendar year, we should not go more than half of the year. And what I mean by half, I'm not saying that it's acceptable to go to June. We should have a budget adopted before if we don't have any financial troubles. I also had a question. You saw me on the cell phone. I was actually calling March because I wanted to ask her about the sewer utility. That budget is usually at the end of this budget, which will be introduced also. When you introduce, I guess, the budget introduction, I guess you would present also the utility budget at that time. But at this time, my vote is yes on a temporary budget.
Council President, the vote is 5 in favor, 1 against, 3 absent. Item number 11 is hereby adopted.
Madam Clerk, before you continue, I just want to make it clear to the administration also. Given that I noticed that the amount of billing for the utility was way more, substantially more than the actual anticipated expenses. I don't anticipate that budget going up at all. So that's all I want to say. Let's continue.
Are you?
We'll have a conversation another time about where we stand with analyzing a lot of the stuff for the sewer. That's another conversation. Let's do number. Let me see. That was number 11.
I think Mark said 16 is very important.
Let's do number 16. No, she didn't say that.
I think she said something.
I did. Council President, I did. That resolution authorizes the agreement with the defendant that we are obligated to pay.
Oh no, we'll get there. We'll get there. But does that need 6 votes? Let's do number 16.
No, 5 is good. Number 16, no, it doesn't need 6.
We
Fine.
can do 16.
Are the majority. Okay. Next item is item number 16. Item number 16 reads resolution authorizing settlement of pending litigation claims in matter of Judith Garris versus City of Paterson, law resolution 2730. A motion?
So we have a motion.
Move, discussion.
Moved by Councilman Velez. I'll second that. Discussion.
Council President, you know, this is the first time in 4 years that I have in council that we are voting in a pending litigation. We do this in closed section, special meeting with legal. I don't know how they got here. I don't know why we voted this.
So Councilman Velez, this item, I remember having a discussion. We already had an executive session on this item before. If you could recall, this is the item, and again, I'm not going to get into the details, but this is the item where there was a guy rail that was overextended, and someone reported it, and because the city didn't fix it, somebody got into an accident there, and it cost us several $1 million. So we did discuss these items. But I understand what you're saying. We normally go to executive session, discuss them, but I think we did discuss these items before.
Right.
Any other questions on this?
And this is $3,350,000.
Yeah, so we're gonna pay someone $3,300,000 something because the city didn't take care of an issue that was reported in the past. Okay, so and worse, someone got hurt. That's the important part. Someone got hurt, not just the money part. That could have been prevented. Madam Clerk, can we vote on this?
Yes, sir. Roll call on item number 16 for approval. Councilman Abdelaziz.
Thank you, Madam BA, and this is where we say issues could have been solved if we rectify the situation when it's addressed. To Madam BA and Corporation Counsel, now with technology and the Paterson Plus app, Madam BA, our department heads, our staff, once somebody reports something to us, it is our obligation to get it done. Now with the new app, which is a great thing, and it holds people accountable, but if our staff are not getting the job done, that God forbid something happens, it was reported on this date, that date, it's all logged in. It's just a sad scenario, and most importantly, a person got hurt. Forget about the money on this issue. Somebody reported this, and a person got hurt because someone dropped the ball. And that's unfortunate, and this is going to happen more and more, Madam BA, if we do not follow up on the concerns and the complaints that the residents put on the record, right? We're not talking about Facebook or this and that, but once they call DPW, once they put in Paterson Plus app, it is a documentation now that is logged, and that we are held accountable, and hopefully no one else gets hurt. And this is the last time while I sound this council that I have to have this in front of me, that when somebody calls it in and doesn't get done, and that person gets hurt. Unfortunately, with the regret, I was going to vote yes, but I'm sorry to the victim because we dropped the ball on this. Thank you.
So your vote is yes?
Yes.
Yes, Councilman, thank you. Councilman Jackson?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Before I continue, does the actual occurrence predate this administration, or when exactly did this take place?
It
When
took
did-
place,
when-
Councilman Jackson, in June of 2017.
Wow.
June of 2017. So the injury predates this administration?
Yes, it does.
Okay. All right. So all that I'll add to this is, my growing disappointment, but not at all surprised. Slightly unrelated, but Council President, I'm just surprised that I pushed for an item in the first ward. You would move to have a discussion before I was having technical difficulties and I couldn't get on. And the relevancy is this: much like this, where the council now sits in a position and points a finger at the administration, and this body is equally responsible. So the negligence that takes place is we're equally responsible because there's such a lack of oversight. So to sit back and say, well, I'm hoping that this doesn't happen again, there's a lack of oversight, a lack of accountability. We don't hold this administration accountable, or administration period accountable, to the occurrences that the residents have to go through. So this is part of the reason why there's such a high level of frustration from residents, and then pointing the fingers at council members when it's not actually the job of the council for some of the things, but the level of accountability. So where these infractions can be avoided, much like a chemical company that's been sitting dormant in the middle of the first ward for 30 years, when those residents around there start reporting, illnesses and things that could have been prevented because there was no attempt to abate the issue. These are the types of things. The council sits back where there's opportunities for the council to take action to make sure that the public's best interest is being mindfully looked after. We don't. So infractions like this continue to happen. And every year I sit here frustrated because we continue to vote on items like this the taxpayers pay hard money for negligence on the council's part. And this is no slight on the victim. In fact, this is just in protest of this council's lack of desire to be due diligent, to do the due diligence on any of these types of matters. So, Madam Clerk, in matter of protest, my vote is no.
Thank you. Councilman Khalid?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Madam Chair, what's the payment plan for this amount? Paying from this year budget, or what's the plan? How much is the insurance premium, or?
Yes, for this, I will ask our CFO to get the specifics, but yes, some of that is from this year's. We'll also, part of our insurance policy also will be reimbursing us for part of this payment.
Can I break down on?
I'll ask our CFO.
Yeah, it's approximately, we have to put out upfront, pay out the approximate amount of $3.6 million. But our actual out-of-pocket cost is much less because of our insurance coverage. So ultimately, I think our out-of-pocket is not more than $750,000. I can get the exact amounts and I'll look it up.
So basically, about $750,000.
Exactly.
I just want to know that. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Mendez?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And just before I vote, I think that one of the things that concern me the most and make me so uncomfortable about voting in this type of litigation is that knowing that somebody dropped the ball and now this issue is coming in front of this council and now we have to vote and taxpayer have to pay. Now we're going to have to come out with $3 million because somebody just dropped the ball and didn't do the job. That's very difficult. Councilman Khalid, thank you for your question. That was my question before my vote about what's going to be the method of payment and in relation with the budget. But I got the information, and I'm just going to support this just because somebody got hurt, and that shouldn't happen ever. So it's so my vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank
Move
you.
on.
Yes, thank you. Councilman Velez?
Yes, before I vote, we have to understand that we have, this administration, I'm not building out no one, have inherit a lot of problems from past administrations. But this administration, whoever is in the future, that to take serious the quote that everybody, or the statement that everybody say, if you see something, say something. If you see something, say something, take action. I'm not gonna say who dropped the ball or not, because I'm not here to judge the process that happened. But one thing I could say is to move with diligence, especially that is reported, is observed and report, making sure that if it turns into a liability to the city, do not guess if it's gonna be a liability or not. Just to address it the proper way, making sure that taxpayer money do not go the drain the way it's going on. And I feel sorry for the person that went through this situation, and I know it's painful, and hopefully this will now recover, bring her life back, bring her life normal. But at least it's a start of compensation. Thank you, my vote is yes.
Thank you. Mr. President?
So, Madam Clerk, I just want to remind my colleagues, today we started the meeting at like maybe 20 minutes after 6 o'clock.
Yes.
The process to start a meeting, if you need to amend your agenda, you have to amend it at the beginning of the meeting. Is that correct, Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir.
So we started our meeting 20 minutes into it. We had the CFO present the item in question that was supposed to be added to the agenda. And based on her comment, it didn't get added. If any of the council members had any difficulty plugging in, I cannot hold up city business for more than 20 minutes. I waited 20 minutes to start this meeting almost. That's that. Also, I don't want to bail out any administration. We have the same staff that we previously had second of all, in 2017, some of us were not even part of this council. That's two, right? A lot of you were here, some of us were not in 2017. So you know who you were at that time. 3, the mayor decided, he was a councilman at the time, in 17 and even before, the current mayor. He decided to keep the same structure of the same administrative body in DPW that the city had previously. And to that point, I reported a pothole, just so you guys don't know, that there was a night here that was very foggy. On December 11th, I blew up 2 tires, right, in a pothole. East Railway, 6th Ward, right, the ward that has the best roads. According to a council colleague, now they do have good roads there. I was just messing with him when I called him. Because he jinxed it, right? He said he had some great roads, then I blew up 2 tires. I reported this right away. And they still haven't filled up the holes. And I know we have holes everywhere, but we should have a machine. Now, if a council reports something, imagine what happens to a regular resident that reports something, right? I blew up, and I just didn't report it because I saw it. I blew up 2 tires. Now I find out when I get on the highway, after I'm doing a certain speed, my car, shakes, so my rim is probably bent. So what I'm saying, to Councilman Teresis's point, if this would have happened now, we still would have had the same situation. We still have the same administrative staff in DPW. Nothing would have changed. So I just want to put that on the record. My vote is yes on this, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, sir. The vote is 5 in favor, 1 against, 3 absent. Item number 16 is hereby adopted.
Council President.
Yeah, Councilman Velez.
I'll just pick something that you just stated, and it's true. This administration, we put the tools on it. I believe there was a new Passion truck. I don't know if it's delivered. I don't know where's the status on it, and that will make a second Passion truck to move forward with this situation. And I'm getting reports of people falling into potholes, and after they fall into potholes, they get into a massive motor vehicle accident. Just send it to the second floor to make a claim, just in case somebody reported it already. But this have to be That's why I stated, if you see something, say something, you got 24 hours to correct it and move forward with this issue, and get anything prevented to do so to not create a liability in our city.
So Councilman, also, I don't want to also send a wrong message to DPW that something has to be reported for them to do it, because they drive through the streets all the time, right? It's not like they don't see the potholes. And I'm going to conclude with this statement. One time I got a call from a department head in the county that one of our roads had, the manhole, it was actually flipped the opposite way. I reported, I actually called the director myself. A month later, it was still the same. I called again, and it was still the same. And I'm like, yo, what's going on? It's just frustrating. But I guess we only concentrate on certain projects here in the city. But I leave it at that. Let's continue, Madam Clerk. Let's do number 4.
Number 4. Okay, the next item on the agenda is item number 4, and item number 4 reads, resolution establishing an annual cash management plan and updating official depositories and signatories for calendar year 21, January 1, 2021 through December 31st, 2021. Finance Resolution 2718.
So move.
Second.
Councilman Velez?
Yes, and second by myself.
Okay.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Roll call on item number 4 for approval. Councilman Abdelaziz?
Yes.
Councilman Jackson?
Yes.
Councilman Khalid?
Yes.
Councilman Mendez? Councilman?
Yes, Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. Councilman Velez?
Yes, Madam Clerk, yes.
President?
My vote is yes.
Thank you. The vote is 6 in favor, 3 absent. Item number 4 is hereby adopted.
Number 5, Madam Clerk.
Yes. Next item is item number 5, and item number 5 reads resolution authorizing payment of debt service that will be owed during the coming calendar year. Finance Resolution 2719.
Move.
Councilman Velez. There a second?
Who moved it? Velez?
I'll let Councilman Velez, yeah.
I'll second that.
Councilman Rivera. Okay. Continue with roll call, Mr. President.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Roll call for item number 5 of Councilman Abdelaziz.
Yes.
Councilman Jackson.
Yes.
Councilman Khalid.
Yes.
Councilman Mendez.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Velez.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Councilman Rivera, Mr. President.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Okay. The vote is 6 in favor, 3 absent. Item number 5 is hereby adopted.
Madam Clerk, before we continue, I'm going to put something on the record for the administration to look at. There is some cones, those tall cones that we see throughout the city. There's probably like 4 or 5 of them. I would say in the middle of the street, but it's more towards one end. It's East 16th Street and Putnam. I don't know if any of you have driven through there.
Council President.
People tell me the accidents happen there all the time because they cannot make a right. They actually have to go around the cones, and it creates a problem. Councilman Velez, I know you're a DPW chair, so maybe you have an idea.
Correct. No, I do have an idea. This, and also Councilwoman Rui Kine have the ideas of whole war there. This is a big problem and reported. Even I have videos that I sent with accidents that occurred. The 2 cars hitting one in front of the other because they avoid
Those people could sue the city.
Well, I don't want to put that recommendation on the issue.
Well, we're not recommending. I'm just saying. But go ahead.
But I recall that we approved emergency sewer contract, and I recall that the director of DPW stated this will fix that problem. Not only that, couple meetings back, we turned one section of street one way to avoid cars to hit, collapse one in front of the other. I don't know if the VA recall all that conversation, but I could recall it, point by point. When they're gonna do it? I was there today looking for purchasing some meat. Matter of fact, the corner, there's a business there that I purchased meat, and it's still the same. And it's in the middle, on the left side, blocking the street coming down. I know we could turn the street one way, but according to the director, he said that the contract that we approved about 4 or 5 months ago for emergency repair, it will cover that, and I thought Fred McGrone also stated that, so it's happening.
So we approve an emergency to fix something which is clearly an emergency,
Correct.
but it doesn't get done.
Sewer repairs, correct.
Wow. All right. Once again, let's continue. Let's do number 5, Madam Clerk.
We just did.
Sorry.
President,
It is 4 and 5.
All right. So yes, Councilman Jackson. Then we'll go to number 6.
Okay, 6. Okay.
so I'm trying my best to be as optimistic as possible. I don't want to be in opposition. But it's a little bit concerning because there's a lot of attention that happens on the mishaps, if you will, with DPW. And we're talking about, gross negligence and the city having to be responsible for paying lawsuits. Right outside of City Hall, there's a derelict business that piles up 30, 40 mattresses every single day, brings all of their supplies outside of the city. They were written a good amount of tickets, over $10,000 worth of tickets that were dismissed. That goes through the Department of Planning and Zoning. We also have a lawsuit that's been filed against the city by a city resident who's been passed over from an illegal hire that this administration has made. And I just wanted to point that out because, what I'm hearing is a pile-on of DPW. We understand, the issues that DPW is dealing with, and everyone has to acknowledge that there's shortfalls there. But why are we not equally distributing the critique through some of the other actions that the administration is blatantly taking upon themselves to cost the city taxpayers money? We have a Paterson resident that is made through all the papers talking about discriminatory practices, and a clear non-resident without credentials where the civil service has written a letter to the city over a year ago saying this person is not qualified for the position, and I haven't heard anyone in the council say anything outside of myself.
Okay.
Just wanted to put that on the record. It's important. My voice will not stop on it. If I'm the only one, I have take no issue, no solace with that. But I'm just a little disappointed that we're leaning on and piling on DPW when these are the actual people who are not being given the tools, the proper tools to work with. These are the actual people that we grew up with in this city, who are really doing their best to make sure that they work for the community's best interest, and we have a consistent pile on each and every night. And I just wanted to point that out.
Councilman Fleek?
Let me piggyback right on Councilman Jackson. I don't have anything against DPW or anything. I'm just wondering, what are they lacking? Because in previous finance meeting or budget hearing, we gave them everything, whatever they needed. We were like bringing on a capital plan, and the council, if we need to borrow money, we'll borrow it and we'll make sure you guys are equipped with everything. What are they lacking?
Thank you for that question, Councilman. The thing that, Councilman,
I'm tired of excuses, not only DPW, every department out there.
So to Councilman Jackson's point, we gotta address the administration. When we say DPW, we're asking the administration to hold their department heads accountable. I'm not saying, in any of my comments, I didn't say they're not working. All I'm saying is, it starts at the top, your leadership, right? The administration picks their team. We provide them the equipment. We could have the best equipment for any sports team. If you don't have the good players, and a good management, they're not going to do anything. That's the bottom line. They're not going to perform to the best of their ability. And I leave it at that. Councilman Abdelaziz.
Council President, the council has great points, but I think because today was a closeout meeting, many of our department heads are not here at this council because it's a little different meeting. I think it'll just be fair. These are valid questions, and we should get the sources, and maybe we give them give the administration either to answer. But I'm looking at the members. I don't think all the directors are here. So, because it is a closeout meeting. Generally, the closeout meeting. We don't discuss this stuff at the closeout meeting.
So, Councilman, the reason this whole conversation came up, and it's not part of the agenda, but we could use this forum right now to ask the question, they could bring it to the next workshop, is because we have an item here for over $3 million. A city resident got hurt because something didn't get done. You have myself blew up 2 tires. You have a capital plan. Hold on. You have a capital plan where I have an issue where we're fixing 2 fields, right? We can't afford to do 2 fields every year. We could do one every year, and maybe we could set some money aside to fix all the issues that we have in the other parks. Because what we're doing lately is we're doing new parks, but then we're not maintaining the ones that we have. They don't have proper bathrooms. They're a mess. This is not a conversation for this time.
You're absolutely right.
We're going to continue it.
That item, we should have never put on the closeout meeting and had a further discussion because the department is not here.
It's not an issue. We didn't have any questions for the department heads. We had comments to the administration to hold your department heads accountable. The only one that we have a question on is not an item on the agenda. It's Putnam and 16th Ave. And it wasn't a question, it was a comment that a resident texted me to bring up the point. Can we continue, Councilman Velez, or go ahead?
Just quick.
Wrap it up.
I just want to clear the record that what we approved for 16th Avenue and Putnam was in an emergency, it was a sewer emergency contract that they could come out and fix it, and it was stated that it was going to fix with that contract that we honored to Montana about 6 months ago. So the VA should follow up because Fred McGraw is in charge to manage that contract to make sure it's done before probably end of the month. Not this month, but at least next month. But it's not DPW responsibility after that we are honoring a contract for a sewer emergency repair in the city of Paterson. And they stated it was taken care of through that award contract. I just want to make the record clear.
Yeah, those 2 departments work together, and one should report to the other when things are not getting done. That's all I gotta say.
Correct.
Let's continue, Madam Clerk. Let's go number 6.
Yes, sir. The next item is item number 6, resolution authorizing an award of contract to Richard S. Moore Associates for the professional appraisal services for the city of Paterson. RFP number 2021-20, finance resolution 2720. A motion?
Do we have a motion?
Council President, this one is totally different as appraisal system, correct?
Martin. Yeah, this is a whole separate service.
Okay, I move it.
There a second?
This is a total service that don't have to do with taxpayer, correct?
Second.
Yes.
So moved by Councilman Velez, second by Councilman Abdelaziz. Roll call, Madam Clerk. Discussion, Councilman Abdelaziz.
Madam DA, can you give us a quick overview of this and what they do?
Yeah, so I could actually turn this over to our CFO, but this is just a kind of the new contract for our appraisal work for state tax court. But if you want further detail from Marge, you can jump in.
Right, yeah, just you can clarify. Marge, is this for the appraisals for our tax litigation once we're in court?
Exactly.
All right, thank you. No further questions, Council President.
All right, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Yes, roll call on item number 6 for approval. Councilman Abdelaziz?
Yes.
Councilman Jackson?
No.
Did you say no?
That's correct.
Okay, no. All right, thank you. Councilman Khalid?
Yes.
Councilman Mendez?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Velez?
Yes.
Mr. President?
No.
The vote is 4 in favor, 2 against, 3 absent. Item number 6 is hereby adopted.
Number 7, Madam Clerk?
Yes, next item is item number 7. Item number 7 reads, resolution authorizing contract extension with Claims Resolution Corporation, Inc. for third-party administration for the city of Paterson. RSP number 2016-25, Finance Resolution 2721.
So move.
That Councilman Velez?
Yes.
Okay, you have a second?
Second, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Councilman.
Moved by Councilman Velez, second by Councilman Mendez. Any discussion?
Negative.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vote for the item number 7 for approval, Councilman Abdelaziz,
Yes.
Councilman Jackson,
Yes.
Councilman Khalid,
Yes.
Councilman Mendez,
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Velez.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Mr. President,
Yes.
the vote is 6 in favor, 3 absent. Item number 7 is hereby adopted.
Number 8, Madam Clerk.
Next item is item number 8, and item number 8 reads, resolution authorizing a contract to Braven Health Medicare Advantage for the Medicare Advantage Program, RSP number 2021-13, Finance Resolution 2722. Is there a motion? Is there a motion for item?
Do we have a motion for number 8? All right, I guess this fell for lack of a motion. Okay, moved by Councilman Abdelaziz. Do we have a second?
There are seconds? Not, right.
I'll second it, Madam Clerk.
Okay.
Yeah, they just move it along.
I second too. Sorry, I was, too.
And Councilman Velez seconds it.
Okay, thank you. Continue with the roll call.
Yes, yes, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Roll call in item number 8 for approval, Councilman Abdelaziz,
Yes.
Councilman Jackson. Councilman Jackson,
No.
Councilman Khalid,
Yes.
did you say yes, sir?
Yes, I did.
Thank you. Councilman Mendez,
Yes, Madam Clerk.
thank you. Councilman Velez,
I think this is gonna be a benefit for the retires, individuals out there, so yes, of course, my vote is yes.
thank you. Mr. President,
No.
the vote is 4 in favor, 2 against, 3 absent. Item number 8 is hereby adopted.
Let's do number 12, Madam Clerk.
Number 12. Next item is item number 12. Item number 12 reads, resolution authorizing the 2021 renewal of insurance policies with all payments thereunder hereby ratified and or authorized. Finance Resolution 2726.
Do we have a motion?
Number 12.
I'll move that one, Madam Clerk. Anyone seconds it?
Councilman Rivera moved. Number 12.
Second.
I'm sorry, I move it.
Okay, moved by Councilman Velez, second by Councilman Abdelaziz. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
So Councilman Velez moved it?
Yes, he was a mute. I saw him moving, yeah.
Okay, so thank you. Okay. Roll call in item number 12 for approval. Councilman Abdelaziz,
Yes.
Councilman Jackson? Thank you, Madam Clerk. So I'm trying to expedite and not be so long-winded on some of these items. Just a matter of clarity to the public. I refuse to continue to vote in affirmative on these third-party contracts that we continuously support that don't render a return back to the community. Understanding the context of this one, slightly different, but it's still relative. We, the city of Paterson, we pay everyone to come in here to do a service, and it's obvious if you can't see that it's just a clear across the board poor level of service to the residents, then you need to have your glasses checked. But with that being said, Madam Clerk, I'm going to remain consistent. My vote is no.
thank you. Councilman Khalid,
Yes.
Councilman Mendez?
Madam Clerk, before my vote,
Yes, sir.
just give me 1 second, Madam Clerk. Yes, Madam Clerk, I'm just trying to, and I just gonna piggyback on Councilman Jackson. Very often time we border on contract and bring company to the city that, after we border, they don't really, deliver the service that they're supposed to. Let me just give you an example, and I'm ready to abstain in a lot of the things, but let me bring this into life because I just got another text. The 2 labs that we have at Kennedy and Eastside High School, it's horrible what they're doing with the community and the COVID-19 testing. And I'm gonna bring in this because I have a multiple text over here about people that test positive on COVID-19, and after a week, they went to those sites to ask those people, listen, where's my result? I mean, I haven't received anything, you haven't called me, and when they've received the information, oh, you tested positive, you have to quarantine after a week. It's horrible sometimes what we do it. And I asked this question to our chief, to our fire chief. I make this comment at the last meeting to please look into that. But very often time we're giving out contract to a lot of the company, and once they come into the city, once they get the contract, they don't provide the service that they're supposed to. It's like this is very, they could do whatever they want in Paterson, and this is something that we really have to look into. Unfortunately, once we vote, we have no say on that. And I'll vote yes on this because it has nothing to do with this. But please, and I'm just gonna bring this into the comment. I know this is a close-out meeting, but this is a direct message to the chief, fire chief, to look into those labs because what they're doing is horrible. Our health department is doing a better job. They providing the response, and it's really way faster. And they're getting a lot of money. They're paying well, to provide those services to our residents. And what they doing is horrible. They have people that they're not qualified to do the testing, and based on all the comment that I have, and also once they get tested, they have to wait over a week, and sometimes they don't receive any phone call. They have to go to those sites and ask those people, listen, can you tell me if I'm negative or positive, from COVID-19? And that's when they get the result. So we have to look into a lot of those things. So, but this is for our fire chief. If you could definitely look in tomorrow, first time tomorrow, into what those labs are doing, I would deeply appreciate it. Thank you, Madam Clerk. My vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Velez?
Madam Clerk, are we at number 12, right, correct?
Yes, sir. Number 12, yes.
Okay, I just want to make this comment. I know that we turn into calendar year. Of course, we cannot leave our city without policies. I recall the Madam DA stating that they are going to pursue new binding and new companies and making sure that we get what we need from our bucks, our money. So this is for 1 year. Hopefully that this year they are covered, and then when they bind other policy with other company, has some time, some saving on it, and it will save taxpayer money. My vote is yes.
Thank you. Mr. President?
Well, it all comes down to accountability. It doesn't matter if it's a third party or a city employee. I'm not gonna say anything negative about what they're doing here at the city, but the one that is city ran also, and this is my personal experience. At one time, I said it here publicly that I took the test and I didn't receive anything back for about a week, and then someone called me. So all I'm saying is, when you go to other places, they at least they have apps where you log in and could check the results the next day or the day after. Here, you have to wait for someone to call you. And I know the administration is probably going to say that we're not paying those entities that are in that Councilman Khalik just mentioned, but we brought them in, and our residents deserve better. It doesn't matter who's paying them. We need to have the best services possible for our residents. So I leave it at that. But my vote is yes. It all comes down to accountability. Doesn't matter if it's subcontracted or it's city ran. It's all about accountability. My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, sir. The vote is 5 in favor, 1 against, 3 absent. Item number 12 is hereby adopted.
You know what, Madam Clerk, I'm gonna jump and I'm gonna do 15 since we already did 16. Let's do 15. Councilman Mendez, you're not muted.
Oh, okay.
Don't say something funny over there, you know?
No, I'm not. I got my song.
All
I got
right.
Daniel in the back bothering me, but I'm okay. I'm good.
Got it. All right.
Yes, sir. Next item number 15. Resolution authorizing settlement of pending litigation claim in the matter of Louis Silverio versus City of Paterson, law, resolution 2729. Is there a motion?
Move.
Councilman Velez, move.
Second, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Mendez, second. Further, we have a motion and a second.
All right, so discussion. Councilman Abdelaziz.
Corporation Counsel, can you give us a brief, quick synopsis on this?
Sure, this matter is actually a joint matter with us and the Paterson Public Schools. There's a student who injured themselves at Westside Park on a road that was really, really badly torn up. So the district is paying a larger portion because it was a student, and then we're paying the portion that is allocated to the road being torn up. In the packet that I sent to the council, there are photos of the child's injuries, and I know the next question is gonna be the dates. The injury happened in late September of 2016, and treatment went on through spring of 2017.
Thank you. No further questions, Council President.
So to that point, that way I don't have to make my statements during my vote. To that point, that's what I stated about analyzing a capital plan. It has to be a plan that makes sense. We have, in that capital plan, we have $300,000 for park improvements. If you go to Eastside Park, that doesn't take care of anything, $300,000. So we're spending all these millions to fix a lot of the fields. My recommendation, and I'm letting you know that way when, I don't have an excuse to vote a certain way. Let's try to do one park and put more money into park improvements. I'm sure we have spent, speaking to someone earlier regarding the conditions of other parks, and we have been sued in the past because there have been holes in some of the fields. Someone would step in a hole and break their leg, here goes $1 million. So we need to maintain our parks and everything else. Let's continue with the vote, Madam Clerk. Roll call.
Yes, sir. Roll call on item number 15 for approval. Councilman Abdelaziz.
Thank you, Madam BA. This is once again, it's in Westside Park. The students are going towards Westside Park. Westside Park is atrocious. This is why we had the conversation of maybe giving partnering up with the county, and the county would have been liable to fix that road. The county would have been liable to fix these improvements, not costing taxpayers anything. And I hope the administration that resolution passed. Hopefully we're having that discussion, because things like this, we could use the resources that we pay taxes to, and Westside Park could be beautified, so we don't have to deal with this where our students are getting hurt walking to the park. God knows how many other people within the park are getting hurt also. So to my colleagues, if we don't act fast, either fix it or partner up, we'll have more lawsuits on our hands, because we can't handle to fixing the amount of problems that we have in our city. Hopefully that discussion continues. My vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Jackson.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. So we stopped allowing for revenue to leave our city to pay third-party companies that's not doing the job that it should be doing. We could possibly put people in training and train our employees to do certain things and give them the tools needed to maintain certain areas. I mean, if we're going to give away parks, we might as well give away the bottom of Governor Street. Because Governor, between Tyler and Bridge Street, hasn't been paved in a matter of 50 years. And so if we have people all over the place, I think we've gotten off lucky. I don't understand why a person who was injured in 2016 is just getting to a settlement offer now. We got lucky in the past with the director of the director of recreation. His son was critically injured and broke his leg on one of our fields. And, fortunately for us, I don't think fortunately for his son, because of his position here, he probably opted not to sue. But we have so many different lawsuits. I mean, Council President just talked about it earlier today on how a road destroyed two of his tires. So this is not a matter of just negligence in one area. This is an all-around, lack of attention that's being paid to the best interest of our community. And in other places, it doesn't happen this way. They make sure that the concerns of their residents are addressed first. It's a primary issue. It's not a secondary issue. But with that being said, Madam Clerk, it was just disappointment, and I'm very sad to hear this tragic situation. My vote is yes.
Councilman Tariq?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Corporate Counsel, is this the best option that we had to settle this litigation?
It is.
Is the best?
Just to be clear, Councilman, part of the issue that we always analyze is the cost-benefit analysis. If we take this matter to trial, it's gonna cost us over $100,000 to even try it.
Thank you. My vote is yes.
Thank you. Councilman Mendez?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Councilman Velez?
As we all know, when the litigation comes forward, it comes with a requested higher amount. So in the process of this litigation, so it came down to $85,000. So one great news I could bring is Councilman Abdelaziz and council members is that in the past committee meetings of DPW, there's going to be a contract moving forward to fix some pathways inside Eastside parks and other parks. So that will be in the workshop and for discussion. So saying that this is another situation that we need to come forward. We inherit a lot of stuff of these. 2016, we here have to be the legislator to make sure that we send a message that we have to be accountable and responsible, especially the administration doing the diligent work to correct this problem before a liability comes to our hands or our table. My vote is yes.
Thank you, Mr. President.
So, Madam Clerk, really quick. So, once again, the capital plan, it didn't have any road resurfacing roads in there. Aside from the DOT money that we're getting, we didn't have any DOT in the original plan that was presented to us in finance. It didn't have any road resurfacing projects. And we got to learn that there was one time we didn't put anything in the budget for road resurfacing. And then we had to borrow $36 million in one shot because all the roads got all messed up at one time. So that's that. And then the reason I'm bringing that up is because Councilman Jackson brought up one of the streets. So us as legislators, we got to make sure that our needs in our wards or the emerging needs, that's what I've been asking the administration for now 2.5 years, not 1 year, 2.5 years, to go around the city analyzing every road and put a number of importance for them to be, I don't think the word is importance, but dire need, right? And from 1 to 5. 5 being immediate, need to resurface. Because in the past, I noticed that some roads are fixed when others are in worse situation. And I want to make sure that there's a plan in place to do that. Now, regarding third-party contracts, it's all about accountability. I agree that we need to train our staff, but me personally, I played baseball in the past. And Larry Doby, I was the first one to use Larry Doby. And the first week, a park that we spent $1 million on, the first week, the infield was messed up because the people that fixed it was not fixing it correctly. And this is the people that have been fixing it for the last 20 years. So not all third-party contracts are bad. If the employees that we have here are not performing the job, then we need to hold them accountable. Either you improve, your function. What do you need to improve it? If you don't improve it, then we're gonna have to go third party, and vice versa. If our garbage company is not picking up the way they're supposed to and treating our residents the way they're supposed to treat them, then we got to contemplate bringing it in-house. The issue that I have is that with the management that we have right now and the level of accountability, I don't know if it's going to be any better bringing anything in-house. That's just my opinion. My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Council President?
May I just announce the vote, Councilman, sir?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The vote is 6 in favor, 3 absent. Item number 15 is hereby adopted.
Councilman Velez, can we continue with this though?
I just want to say that we are behind on the state resurfacing aid grants. I believe there's still rows on 18 and 19.
Correct.
And 20, so they have a list of those roads.
I know, that's not part of the capital plan though, that's what I'm trying to tell you, so let's continue. Madam Clerk, could we do number 19?
Sure, Mr. President. Next item is item number 19. Item number 19.
I'm sorry, Madam Clerk, can I interrupt you for a minute? So, let's give the courtesy to, I want to publicly thank Marcia Roan. I know she wanted to leave already, or her items are already up. This is her last meeting, as the CFO of the city. I want to thank her for her professionalism. Although she's in the process of not coming back to the city, she has, you wouldn't know, that's why some of you have that face, because you call March today and she still treat you the same way as when she started. And this is my experience I had with her once I worked for her, and I've been dealing with her for many years. And Marge is very professional. Even when things bother her, it doesn't get to her. She still performs the same way, and I want to thank you, Marge, for all the years of service that you have given the city. And I want to, give you an opportunity to say a few words. Do you want to say something, Councilman Abdelaziz?
Yeah, I just want to piggyback on what you said, Council President, before she gets the mic. I thought we were going to have her towards the end where our closing remarks, but I
It's about to leave.
see this closeout meeting go to midnight, so we don't want to do it. Marge is going to walk out. Marge, my short time on this council, you've been absolutely great, and I've called you, you've always been there, and anytime my residents or my constituents needed something, you opened up your office. I commend you. I know we only worked with each other for a short time. I don't think we will stop. I'm not going to stop calling you. Don't change your phone number, because I will call you, pick your brain. And just to the residents, let me tell you, when we pushed to stop the interest on the late payments during COVID, Marge and myself were on the phone on a Sunday for like 3 hours straight, looking at loopholes, how we're going to do it. This is before the governor signed his executive order waiving it. And that shows you her dedication to the taxpayers. My wife was like, "Who are you talking outside for 3 hours?" I had to show you. I was like, it was a Sunday. I walked outside the kitchen, and I was in for 3 hours around there calling everything else. So, Marge, thank you. I wish you well in retirement, and please don't change your number. If you do, text me it. Thank you.
Anyone else? Councilman Velez.
Yes, I just want to take this opportunity, Marge. It's caught me by surprise, this early retirement that you want to do. The reason I say it is because I didn't have no emails receiving. My phone was lost. I got another one. But one thing I could say, Marge, for the time that I know you, probably before being in the council and now as a councilman, is that everybody comes to our life in this government life that we are living now, and they leave trail, they leave good example, they leave good teaching, and even that I'm not perfect, you always brought me into that perfection and understanding the process of your position, and understanding the process of government in through your position. And I am grateful that that you are my friend, and I'm not gonna do like Councilman Abdelaziz, call you every time, because probably you're gonna be more busy than anything. But one thing I'm gonna say is sometimes our loss is a gain for others. So God bless you. God, open the doors for you and prosper in everything the same way your heart always desire and prosper. So thank you for being our friend, and besides our friend, our leader in numbers and understanding, and making understand where government works and where the government does not work. So thank you, Marge. And tell your kids and your family, thank you for letting us borrow you for all this time.
Thank you.
Councilman Mendez.
Thank you, Council President and March. I served, at the council and then I left and I'm back now. But I will say one thing, and is that every time I need you, you was always there for me. Giving me those answers, helping me understanding numbers and questions. You was there. You were well dedicated. I'm a really, and this is something that the administration took the decision. I don't know why, based on what, they will be, responsible for you too young to leave Paterson. You've been well dedicated to our community, and I know that. I hear my council colleague mention, hours and hours that you've been in the phone with them. And I will say the same thing. Every time I call you in the past, you was always there for me, and you being transparent, which is the most important thing. You being transparent, every time we call you, you give us the right information, which is powerful. So I don't understand why you're leaving, but that's not up to us. And I wish you well. I wish you well. And I would love to see you coming back in the future. That's all I'm going to say. Good luck, and we're here for you. And please, I'll, just keep, answer the call when I call you, please. Thank you so very much, Council President. Thank you.
Councilman Kalik?
Oh, thank you, Council President. Madam Sharon, are you retiring? I'm hearing the word retiring, or your contract wasn't renewed.
Well, it's a combination, but I chose to retire,
Right.
given.
Maybe you are transparent. That's why you want to retire.
I'm sorry, I can't hear what you said.
You are pushed out to retirement, basically.
Well,
I just want to get the fact right. Fact, that's all. Because I just received the email last week, I believe. It caught me by surprise. I was at the council for like 4 months or so. We had a very good working relationship. And I thought you are one of the most transparent person in the whole administration. And it's very sad to see you leave the council. Definitely, I will miss you, Sharon, and good luck with everything you do. So you are now retiring, but I hope to see you around somewhere, neighboring town or something. Thank you.
thank you.
So Marge, like my council member stated, you were very transparent. When I went to your office, although you tried to convince me that financially, some things might not be the best thing for the city financially. I will go back and forth with you to tell you that some might not benefit your financial statements, but oftentimes I gotta do things that also benefit, because I hear the cries of the residents, and we will always work to come to get things done that will benefit. We will meet halfway in certain things, and we will get things done, Marge. And I want to personally thank you for all the work. And you're too young to retire. I hope you open a consulting firm or something, where professionals like us could, whenever we need people to work on specific projects, could reach out to you and come in just to work on those projects. Do you want to say a few words, Marge, for? Oh, actually, Councilman Jackson. Councilman Jackson.
Thank you, President. So, Madam Sharon, I will be so politically correct.
You're breaking up.
How about now? Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. So, Madam Sharon, I won't dare to be so politically correct. I won't dare to sit here and facetiously smile at you as you're being handled in the manner in which you have. You, my friend, are a testament of the proud Paterson-born, Paterson-raised professional people who have come back to render your services to the city and to no avail be left holding a bag of unappreciation. The work that you've done for the matter of 30 plus years or more speaks for itself. And I'm not gonna dare to sit here and allow for a moment to pass without critically acknowledging the truth and where we are. And where we are is a very sad place. A place where your professionalism, your experience is not appreciated. a place where, there are illegal hires of people who are uncredentialed and unqualified, a place where someone who has put in the time and devoted themselves and their family time, and as other council members have acknowledged, have spent your personal Sundays and your personal holidays on the phone and caring about the city. This right here has to be acknowledged, and it has to be told in the correct fashion of what it is. There is no such thing as being forced out. There's either a renewal or a non-renewal. And I like for me, I like to be straightforward. I like to be honest. I don't like to allow people to run the bees trail. And this right here, my friend, is a total disaster and a total reason why the city's in the condition that it's in. I sat here for years, as many residents have, and wondered why. Why is Paterson in such a condition? And this is an example of why. We force out the best cop in the state, in the country, where he's being acknowledged as being one of the best cops in the state. We force him out. Now we have one of the best finance people in the country, in the state, in the area, having to sit here and bear the grunt of being professional and watch the city that you know and love be treated in the fashion that it has. I take my hat off to you. The level of professionalism that you bring and character you bring to this job, it's unrivaled. I'm not going to speak about anyone else's credentials and who will be falling in your shoes, but I'm looking forward to seeing those resumes, because for some reason here, we seem to believe that if you have a degree from certain places, that accounts for experience, and or if you have a relationship and a friendship with someone, that also counts for a level of experience. So I love you, Marge. I love the work that you've done. Hey, keep on swinging. And someone else, as I believe one of the other council members has said, what someone doesn't appreciate, someone will find a gem. And keep on doing what you're doing, Marsh. Keep being the person that you are.
Well, I don't want to say very many words. What I do want to acknowledge is that I started my professional career as a CFO in the city of Paterson in 1989. And I'm ending my professional career as a CFO in the city of Paterson. It's been a little more than 30 years that I've been in held these positions, not just in the city of Paterson, but in other municipalities and counties as well. It's been a great professional career for me. I've thoroughly enjoyed all of the years. I've especially enjoyed Paterson. I don't think anywhere that I've been that I've seen as much and learned as much as I have in Paterson from the very first day. Anywhere you go in Paterson, we were always known as the Cadillac of municipal government. I don't think that's really changed. I think we're still in the top 5 municipalities in the state. And I hope that Paterson stays on that track. I don't see that it wouldn't stay on that track. And I've enjoyed each and every one of you. This particular governing body has probably been one of the most challenging governing bodies that I've ever experienced anywhere. Most of the times when the CFO starts talking about numbers and finance, the governing body members, most of them, their eyes will glaze over and it's sort of boring, but not to all of you. It's been a very exciting time and I wish it could be for longer, but it's nice to retire young. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Marge, thank you very much, and we'll continue to speak from time to time. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
Good luck to all. Good night.
You're very, very classy because you use the word challenging.
Good night, Marge.
Good night, all. Don't stay up too late.
Good night.
We're breaking the records today, Marge. We're going to 1 a.m. for this closeout meeting.
I'm doing it perfectly. All right.
Good night.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Council President's gonna break a record tonight.
No, let's do it. No, actually, She was deserving of this break that we took from the agenda. Let's do number 19, I said.
Yes, sir, you did, yes. Next item is item number 19, resolution appointing Myra Torres Arenas to the City of Paterson Board of Adjustment, sponsored by Councilman Shaheen Khalid, City Council Resolution 2733.
Second.
Councilman Khalid,
Move.
Second.
and second by
Councilman Velez.
Mendez.
Councilman Velez and Councilman Mendez.
Yes.
Continue, Mr. President.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Yes, roll call on item number 19, Councilman Abdulaziz,
Yes.
Councilman Jackson.
Yes.
Okay, Councilman Khalid,
Yes, Madam Clerk.
okay, Councilman Mendez,
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Velez,
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Mr. President.
Yes.
The vote is 6 in favor, 3 absent. Item number 19 is hereby adopted.
Let's do number 18, Madam Clerk.
Next item is item number 18. Item number 18 reads resolution amending resolution 2632 authorizing social services allocations for the period of July 1, 2020 through December 31st, 2020. Health and Human Services, Resolution 2732.
Moved by Councilman Abdulaziz, second by Councilman Velez. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
1 second, Mr. President. Roll call for item number 18. Councilman Abdulaziz.
Yes.
Councilman Jackson.
Yes.
Councilman Khalid.
Yes.
Councilman Mendez.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Velez.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Mr. President.
Yes.
The vote is 6 in favor, 3 absent. Item number 18 is hereby adopted. 18 and 19. Yes, sir. Which other one?
Yeah, let's go to number 17, Madam Clerk.
18. 1 second, Mr. President. This item is item number 17. Item number 17 reads resolution of the governing body of the City of Paterson authorizing the adoption of 2020 Passaic County, New Jersey Hazard Mitigation Plan Update, Administration Resolution 2731.
Move.
So moved by Councilman Abdulaziz.
Velez and then Abdulaziz.
Moved by Councilman Velez, second by Councilman Abdulaziz. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Roll call on item number 17 for approval. Councilman Abdulaziz.
Yes.
Councilman Jackson.
Yes.
Councilman Khalid.
Yes.
Councilman Mendez.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Velez.
The Office of Emergency Management will continue to do a great job with the leadership of our Chief, Mark Berman. Thank you, Chief, for everything you have done, especially in this 2020. Let me tell you something, had been 2020 tested our vision, and I know under your leadership, the vision is gonna be better, 21. Thank you for your work and your division in your department, and the men and women from the fire department, and OEM. I will say.
Thank you. Mr. President.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
The vote is 6 in favor, 3 absent. Item number 17 is hereby adopted.
Madam Clerk, let's do number 2.
Next item is item
Actually, I'm sorry, number 1.
number 1. Item number 1, resolution appointing public agency compliance officer for the City of Paterson, pursuant to Public Law 1975, Chapter 127, Administration Resolution 2715.
Move.
Councilman Velez?
Yes, it is.
Second?
Second.
Councilman Abdulaziz, second.
Yes.
Mr. President.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Roll call for item number 1 for approval. Councilman Abdulaziz.
Yes.
Councilman Jackson.
No.
Councilman Khalid.
Is this reappointing Harry Savalas as a purchasing agent?
Yeah, public agency.
No,
My vote is yes.
he's the agent purchasing, he's gonna be put in, compliant office agents.
Thank you, Councilman Khalid. Councilman Mendez?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Okay. Councilman Velez?
Definitely, yes, my vote is yes on this one.
Mr. President?
Madam Clerk, I'm sorry. I had this item confused with another item. Can you please change my vote to yes?
Yes, yes, sir.
I apologize.
And my vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Okay, 1 second, Mr. President. Thank you. The vote is 6 in favor, 3 absent. Item number 1 is hereby adopted.
Number 2, Madam Clerk.
Yes, sir. Next item is item number 2, resolution authorizing contracts with certain approved state contract vendors for various departments and divisions for the city of Paterson. Administration, resolution 2716.
So move.
Which one is this one?
Number 2.
So move.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Abdelaziz, second by Councilman Velez. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Roll call on item number 2 for approval, Councilman Abdelaziz,
Yes.
Councilman Jackson,
Yes.
Councilman Khalid,
Yes.
Councilman Mendez,
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Velez.
I just want to bring something before I go, I just want to send a message to all these vendors that when they receive any kind of equipment from DPW to do the diligent work, to work on it and to expedite it, because one vehicle down for us is a going back the service of our city. And it should go in every other vendor, but, thinking that if they receive anything from us to repair or to make sure that it's done properly and making sure that it's taxpayer money paying these vendors. My vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman. Mr. President,
Yes, Madam Clerk.
thank you. The vote is 6 in favor, 3 absent. Item number 2 is hereby adopted.
Number 3, Madam Clerk.
Next item is item number 3, resolution ratifying a contract and authorizing payment to Appraisal Systems Inc. for appraisal services for the tax office for the city of Paterson. Finance resolution 2717.
Council President, this was the one that our CFO had mentioned earlier that she was pulling from the agenda.
So number 3 is being pulled?
Yes.
All right, let's pull number 3. They don't, we did discuss this in finance. They don't have the actual numbers. We're being sued for a specific amount, and we don't have Councilman Abdelaziz. Let me just give the courtesy to the taxpayers and the residents that are watching and my colleagues that we're not part of finance while we're pulling this. So we're pulling this because we're being taken to court for a specific amount, but the invoices that we were able to put together are less than the amount that we're taken to court for. So at this time, we cannot entertain this item. Can we just pull it, Madam Clerk?
Yeah, we're removing item.
Workshop.
We are removing item number 3 from the agenda.
Correct. Let's try to put it in the workshop for a lengthier discussion.
So we put it to the next workshop.
Yes.
Okay, just a minute.
A suggestion, Councilman Abdelaziz. All right, let's go to number 13, Madam Clerk.
Okay, 1 second, Mr. President, January 12, 2021. Thank you. Next item is item number 13, resolution authorizing the award of contract to V.E. Ralph and Son, Inc. on the Educational Services Commission of New Jersey Corp. 65 NCESCCPS, bid number ESPNJ 17/18-40 for the purchase of medical supplies for the fire department. Fire resolution 2727.
So move.
So moved by Councilman Velez and second by Councilman Abdelaziz. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Yes, sir. Roll call for item number 13 for approval. Councilman Abdelaziz.
Yes.
Councilman Jackson.
I apologize, Madam Clerk. Can you just give me the title again?
Okay, it's number 13. Can you hear me now? 13. Resolution authorizing award of contract to V.E. Ralph and Son, Inc. under Educational Services Commission of New Jersey Corp. And it goes with the numbers 65 MCESCCPS, bid number ESCNJ 17/18-40 for the purchase of medical supplies for the fire department.
We already had a discussion, right?
Got roll call, right?
Roll call.
All right, thank you.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Yes,
So-
Ms. Councilman
You
Jackson.
have a discussion, Councilman Jackson.
Council President, I think I voted already on this.
Did you vote already, Councilman?
Yes.
So we need to,
Councilman Abdulaziz voted, so we're
we need
waiting
to continue.
for Jackson to vote now.
Sure.
Councilman Jackson, you may continue, sir.
You're cutting off, Councilman. The reception is bad.
How about now?
It's going on. Just keep speaking, maybe. Yeah, we can't. It's bad.
I'm sorry?
It's still bad.
How about now?
It's better. Try it. Try now.
It will help to be able to lend context to some of the things at point. You know, the position of this council is, I'm still bad? The position of this council is consistently undermined it, all across the board. You know, there's been so many initiatives that I tried to put forward so we can make sure that we can mine the stores. One example is the Board of Health. You know, where state law actually requires, it talks about specifically the requirement of the council either sitting as the Board of Health and or appointing a Board of Health. So now we have some items coming before us that require some attention from from that perspective. And with that being said, I'm consistently getting calls with regard to how the administration has made a decision to cut testing. Now, even tonight, some of the council members have attested, and I can personally attest, that the services that the employees of our health department have been rendering to the community has been second to none. And I will also acknowledge the county services have been very, very, very highly adequate as well. But we have our own city employees rendering services every single day where we have lines of people waiting, and we're going to cut testing at a time when we're talking about numbers spiking and things of that nature. The decisions that take place from this administration with no regard of this council is totally asinine. I cannot responsibly vote on this. I need more content. And I can't responsibly vote on this without having a thorough understanding of what it is. My vote is no, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Kalik?
No,
I didn't hear, sir.
I said no, Madam Clerk.
Did he say yes?
I said no, Madam Clerk.
Oh, okay, I heard you no. Councilman Mendez?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Madam Clerk, and I will just echo, Councilman Jackson's comment. Right now, testing is key. In order for us to stop this pandemic, we have to be effective with testing. We have to increase the amount of testing center in order for us to know what's going on in our community. And I would like to thank also Chief McDermott for responding to my comment. He will follow up into what's going on with those labs that came into our city and got those contracts of what's going on. But definitely, I cannot vote on this, but because we definitely need more details on this. But stopping and reducing testing is an incredible mistake right now at this time. My vote is no. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Councilman Velez?
I think number 13, we are number 13, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let me commend Chief McDermott. I believe that we got into the agreement with the Educational Service Commission, I believe last month. And I believe also that this authorizing a work contract is to purchase medical supply, glove, anything that medical EMS and also the fire department have to use and have to do nothing with the operation of COVID testing site and none of the above probably that's going on with the COVID situation. I think this is a good thing that probably we are saving money under Litigation Service Commission. That's a way to save money and make sure that the grants and the money that comes out of the fire department will invest it to our men and women that risk their life out there. And sometimes with even at the chief is now running out of supply, but he's keep it up to date. And we need this contract to make sure that we bring more equipment to our firemen out there. So commend you, Chief, for that. And my vote is yes, in number 13.
Thank you. Mr. President?
Yeah, one thing don't have to do with the other. My vote is yes, Chief. Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Yes, sir. Mr. President, this is a tie vote. It's gonna fail. Okay.
Okay, Council President.
Could we maybe, we all read this resolution.
Can we hear from the Chief, Council President?
Can you explain, because we read it, and I don't know, the comments that were passed don't have nothing to do.
Yes, sir.
Could you explain this, please?
Absolutely. This is specifically to put equipment on the life-saving ambulances. This has nothing to do with testing or anything. Without getting these supplies on ambulances, we'll run out of supplies and we will not be able to run the ambulances. I will then have to buy things at market rate costs after not having them on a state contract. That's the impact of this failing. It's up to you guys, but just to add the context for you, it is specifically, it's Narcan, it's nasal pharyngeal airways, oral pharyngeal airways, CPR equipment, oxygen equipment. That's specifically what it is.
So to that point, Chief, I want to know if anyone that voted no wants to, do a motion to reconsider this.
Council President.
Yes, Councilman Kalik and then Councilman Mendez.
Here's the thing, I definitely reconsider. I understood what I was voting on.
Sure.
I was trying to make a point. But some of the council colleagues laughing, like, it's my vote. I could vote anywhere I want to vote. You know what I mean? So I think we should respect each other's votes. It doesn't matter what it is. I could vote on something to just make a point.
Agree.
That's all I'm saying. And I'll change the vote, but that's all I'm gonna say.
Agree. I'll make some of those votes.
I'm not a rubber stamp voter either.
I agree with you, Councilman. Sometimes I vote also to make a point. I agree 100. I just want a clarification from.
It's a disgrace. If you go behind Kennedy and what's going on with this testing site, I saw somebody, the person who's taking the test, I drove by there, just by my house.
Correct.
Nobody's there, but he's smoking in there. That's the same person taking the test, administering the test.
So Councilman, you just stated that you're gonna reconsider. And Councilman Mendez, you wanted to say something? You want to reconsider yourself, or?
Yeah, Council President, yes. And let me just, and Councilman Kalik and I were on the same page with that. You definitely, in some cases, have to vote to get a stand. And this is what I would like to say. And the chief, Chief, you have a great leadership and you're doing an outstanding job in the fire department. But it is, my level of frustration when it comes to this testing center, it just reached all the way to the top. And I believe in you. I know you're gonna take action in this. And I'm voting against this. It's just to express my frustration and a lot of the things that are happening. And Councilman Kali, you're totally right. You have some Council Kali laughing. I mean, but that's speak about their character, But listen, I mean, you have your vote, I have my vote, and I could vote the way I feel it. But I'm willing to reconsider my vote, Chief, knowing that you're gonna take action on that. Because all I care is I just want to make sure that our community receive the service that they deserve. And that's all I care about. A lot of the time, we hire those companies and we're using other funding, not city funding in some cases, but they come into Paterson and they don't respect our community. They feel that they could do whatever they want. A lot of the people that work in those testing centers, based on a lot of the statement and comment that I have, they're not even prepared to do that. And it's very unfair the way they treat our Patersonian. And I'm here to represent the public. I have to speak out. And that's the only reason why I'm here. But I'm reconsidering my vote because I believe in your leadership and I know that you will do the right thing. Thank you, Council President. My vote is yes on this item.
All right.
Thank you, and Councilman Mendez and Councilman Jackson, to both of your inquiries from last meeting and this meeting, I already reached out to Jonah Karlovac. I gave him an ultimatum. He will have me information by tomorrow, and I'm personally going to handle it and get to the bottom of what the problems are, and I'll reach the answers through the administration, through the VA. But I absolutely am going to be personally invested in this tomorrow. He already has responded back that he's putting together a packet. He's reviewing the issues, and I'll get monitors out there to check on these sites more often. So I'll make sure I do the right thing.
Okay. Council President?
Councilman Abdelaziz.
So I got for procedure of the council, I don't think they could vote, and change their vote. The vote failed, as Madam Clerk said, so you.
No, she said, she hadn't read the vote.
No. We're not, they didn't change their vote. They're moving it to reconsider. They want to reconsider the item.
So Council President, so I guess, is there a motion on the floor for reconsideration from Shaheen Khalik and a second from Alex Mendez?
Can I explain, Mr. President?
Yes, please.
I did not announce the vote.
That's right.
So they can change the vote?
Yes.
All right, so even better.
Because I didn't announce the vote. I just said it was, it's gonna fail. So,
All right.
these Councilman Khalik and Councilman Mendez reconsidered their vote, correct?
Yeah, so they changed their vote.
Yes,
Yes.
you changed the vote to yes.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, at this time? No, okay.
Councilman Jackson.
Thank you, Council President. So it is very imperative that we understand the context of what's going on and understand how the impact of the community rides on certain scenarios. And I understand the chief is extremely diligent on certain aspects of what's happening, but the fact of the matter is, and he answered the question of whether or not, how he's going to hold those other entities accountable that's rendering services. And we did not have a discussion prior to the vote, so there was no clear context on it. But the fact of the matter is, this third-party company has been rendering services since COVID has started, and it's been poor the entire time. How much of a failure do you have to be in order to stop what's going on? On the other hand, our health department has been rendering extremely high-level services.
Councilman, I don't think 13 have anything to do with that, though.
Are you trying to,
No. The thing is that we're entertaining we're in roll call for an item, right? We just finished a roll call. If you want to say something regarding the topic that you're speaking about, let's let Madam Clerk finish, with the vote count. And then, you have a moment to, express your concerns regarding,
as I'm changing my vote, Council.
Okay, right, okay.
As I'm changing my vote, the public definitely deserves to understand the context of why I'm voting. I'm here to represent the public. So if I have a specific situation or, a splinter for whatever reason, I think that I deserve an opportunity to express to the public what is the rationale behind my vote. Not only to the public, but also to the chief of fire, so that he understands the context of why I am supporting or not supporting one of his items. Is that okay with you?
got it. That's perfect.
Very good. I appreciate the opportunity to be in America. So, once again, I don't understand how we allow certain entities to continue to make money through failure, and then, Council President, if you could so kindly entertain an opportunity for the administration to let this council know before we adjourn today, what exactly is going on with the COVID funding and why are we cutting services for testing to 2 days a week? We have lines, every time I go to a COVID testing site, there's lines very long lines. But anyway, I'll leave it rest there. I'm very tired of this council being a laying dog and allowing for the community to be mistreated. And yes, as my council colleagues have stated, my vote is consistently in opposition of that, and it is for as a point of purpose, just to make sure that we understand what we're dealing with. So my vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
So, Madam Clerk, could you read the vote for the record? Madam Clerk?
Sorry, my mic was off, I'm sorry. Yes, item number 13, the vote is 6 in favor, 3 absent. Item number 13 is hereby adopted.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Before we continue with the next one, could you make an announcement to the public announcement?
Oh, for the public.
So they can start calling in now. That way, when we're ready when we finish with the 2 items, we could just, if there's not anyone there, we could just close the meeting.
I think it's one item list. Yes, sir. The public portion, anyone who wishes to participate in the public portion, they dial 973-321-1579. Enter code 8326. 973-321-1579. And enter code 8326. You press *2 to leave a recorded comment. Press *3 to be added to the speaker list. Yes, Mr. President.
So at this time, Madam Clerk, we'll open number 14. We'll do number 14.
It's 14. Next item is item number 14. Resolution authorizing contracts with certain approved state contract vendors for specialized firefighter equipment and services for the fire department. Fire Resolution 2728.
So move.
Councilman Velez?
Moved by Councilman Velez, second by Councilman Abdelaziz. Roll call, Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir. Roll call for item number 14. Councilman Abdelaziz?
Yes.
Councilman Jackson? Councilman Jackson? Okay, we're gonna move on. Councilman Khalid?
Yes.
Councilman Mendez?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Velez?
Before I vote, I just want to request to the chief to send me an email to give me a status of the,
information. Recycling picked up.
Go ahead, Councilman Velez.
thank you, Councilman Mendez. Chief, if it's possible, you could send me an email and a status of what happened with the ambulance that we supposed to refurnish or to put together. I believe it was 4. I don't know where they at, where we stand on it. Please, if you could give me an update on that down the road. So my vote is yes.
Thank you. Councilman Jackson? Councilman Velez, I have Councilman Jackson. I can't get Councilman Jackson. Mr. President?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Okay. The vote is 5 in favor, 4 absent. Item number 14 is hereby adopted. All the items are covered, Mr.
So can we open the public portion, Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir. The public portion is now open. Is there anyone for the public portion? Give me a second, let me check with Ryan. Ask Ryan if there's anyone for the public portion. Nobody? Mr. President, we'll have, we're gonna time them and give them another 2 minutes to see if anyone will call in. I'll set the time.
Yes, that's fair. Yes.
Okay, I'm giving 2 minutes. Okay. Yeah, just repeat the number in the meantime too. Anyone who wishes to participate in the public portion is now open. Please dial 973-321-1579. Enter code 8326. Press *2 if you wish to leave a recorded comment, and *3 to be added to the speaker list.
Council President.
Yes, Councilman Jackson.
While the clerk is allowing the 2-minute time for people to call in, can we please hear from the administration, the VA, with regard to the COVID testing?
Sure.
Sure, thank you, Council President and Councilman Jackson. It's tough here because I don't see any of you on camera anymore, but,
We're here.
with regard to all the CARES funding, that funding expires tomorrow, December 30th, 2020. So far in DC, the federal government hasn't extended that funding, hasn't produced new funding. The bill that was being worked on did not have additional direct aid to states or localities. So as of right now, we will be incurring any future costs, and that is overtime that we've been able to include under this for non-public safety. It'll be 25% of our public safety overtime costs, as well as anything related to testing, vaccinations, and so on. So that's one of the reasons why we're limiting that. We understand in a perfect world we would not be doing so, but we have to be realistic, and we know this is not something that is that we're able to do across the board without it having a financial impact on the city. One of the reasons why we use some of our CARES funding as redeployed is that we can have some of that available going forward. We do know that there's some potential funding coming from the county level through HUD to the county that we applied for, both for senior services for our senior food delivery, as well as for additional testing. And that's going to be one of the ways that we're paying for the limited testing that we're doing now. I think the other challenge is also staffing. We have quite a few people involved in the testing process, and we're going to need to have a lot of people involved in the vaccination process. So we're being a little realistic about how we're going to be staffing our needs going forward. There are lots of testing opportunities. There aren't as many vaccination opportunities. Our public health office is going to be in charge of quite a lot of that when they set up, especially the site at International High School as of next week, and as the phases ramp up and we receive more vaccines from the state. So we're trying to balance the various needs of the city right now.
So Madam BA, to Councilman Jackson's point, I think the responsibility is to, if there's a need for services in the city of Paterson, we can just turn it off, right? You present us with a plan and a budget, and then we make that decision as a whole. Not just you saying we don't have the money. There's a need in this community that needs to be met. And unfortunately, we have to plan for it, at least for a few months, until I'm sure the Fed's going to make a decision to fund it. I don't see why not. But in the meantime, we cannot stop providing the services, to Councilman Jackson's point.
And that's why we're still doing both, right? We're having some days of testing, just like the county stopped doing the full testing at William Paterson. They scaled down to days, not every day, but throughout the county. We're doing something similar, especially since there's access in doctor's offices or a hospital or urgent care centers and med centers. There are places where people can go to get tests. Well, part of our job is going to be, especially with insurance, there are other places that you can even do it for free. Yeah.
For uninsured?
Yes.
Okay, so we have to let the public know. We have to educate them and let them know.
Yeah.
Councilman Paterson.
Council President, I have
Hold on, the public portion, hold on.
That's what I was gonna say, Council President, I think we should, have a meeting and hear from our health director about the plan that he wants to do for testing and the vaccination, and it won't.
So actually, to that point, Councilman Paterson, we are required, we are the health board, the council. So we could call a meeting just to meet with the health department.
And hear from our health director and what their plans are. They can give us an update, how many people they tested per week, has it gotten?
Let's do that. But right now, no, that's a good point. Right now, we have a member of the public calling in for the public.
Perfect, that's what, I just want to say, I would love to have that meeting, because right now, we won't solve it, we don't have nothing in front of us, and the health director's not here.
Thank you. Yes, Madam Clerk, proceed, please.
Yes, we have a speaker on, yes. The public portion is now open. Our first speaker, please state your name and address for the record, and you may begin.
Audrey Paterson. Good evening, council people. My concern is I'm still looking for apartments. I'm a fire victim, and it's still hard dealing with this. It's crazy. But anyway, a lot of these apartments now to realtors, and it's not fair because now you got to pay the realtor and the first month rent and all that. Who got all that money for that? Not me. So it's really something needs to be done in Paterson because I'm just so fed up right now, for real. It's terrible to be looking for an apartment, can't find nothing, and when you do find something with realtors, they want realtor fees and all that, and it's ridiculous. I mean, something needs to be done. Right now, I don't have nothing to say that much, but I have a safe new year, and hopefully somebody do something about this, all this stuff going on in Paterson, because it's not right. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else for the public portion?
Is there anyone else, Madam Clerk?
No one else? No, Mr. President, at this time, there's no one else for the public portion.
Moved by Councilman Abdelaziz, second by Councilman Velez. Roll call to close, Madam Clerk?
Yes, Mr. President. Roll call to close the public portion for the special closeout meeting of December 29, 2020. Councilman Abdelaziz?
Yes.
Councilman Jackson?
Yes.
Councilman Tariq?
Yes.
Councilman Mendez?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Velez?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Mr. President?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
The vote is 6 in favor, 3 absent. Public portion is now closed.
Do we have a motion to close the public meeting? To close the meeting?
Move.
Moved by Councilman Abdelaziz, second by Councilman Velez and Mendez. Roll call, Madam Clerk?
Yes, roll call to close this special closeout meeting of December 29, 2020. Councilman Abdelaziz?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Before I vote, I just wanted the residents of the People's Park section.
Y'all want something like me on them? No,
Councilman Mendez, can you please mute yourself?
sorry. I'm sorry, Councilman.
Thank you. The very important message for the residents of the People's Park section. Today was garbage day, and due to the volume of garbage curbside, the company did not finish their route. Please keep your garbage out tonight, and they will be out tomorrow. I will drive tomorrow morning to make sure that they're out there picking up the garbage. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but I just want to put that out there. Also want to wish everyone, my colleagues, Happy New Year. Councilman Mendez, enjoy it over there in the nice warm weather. We're very envious of you guys right now. And to the residents of the 6th Ward, please, on Christmas Eve, we were able to bring Santa around the 6th Ward. Thousands of people greeted Santa, but we did not see many masks. There was a lot of house parties. And please, during this holiday, try to keep it small. Please wear your masks around each other. And it was a great time, Christmas Eve. It was awesome. I went up and down 95% of the blocks in the 6th Ward, and it was a great day, but what we saw, we should be doing a little better with social distancing and masks amongst family. Hopefully during New Year's Eve, you could limit the parties and limit the amount of people. I wish, to the administration, Happy New Year. My council colleagues, Happy New Year. I look, 2020 has been a very, very difficult year. Hopefully we're back in person eventually sometime in 2021 when it's safe and we can get back to interacting and discussing and working for the people of this great city. I wish everyone a blessed holiday, and my vote is yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Jackson?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. As the year comes to an end, I think it's extremely appropriate that we talk about some of the occurrences that we've encountered this past year. It's been extremely disappointing. Just the other day, we're getting text messages from members of the administration letting us know that there's just yet another shooting. As we broke records in areas such as, in areas where the public is consistently being put at risk, I'm hoping for and I'm looking for someone, either the council and or the administration, to do to raise the bar and raise the level of accountability. We owe the public a lot more than what they're getting, and the public, at this point, from my perspective, is being grossly cheated. From the very small things, the lack of implementation. We talk about the necessity for legislators to be legislators, and they allow the administration to do their part. We do that, and we write laws and write legislation such as parking permitting, and yet the administration fails to administer and put these things in place. So the community consistently is looking at the council as if there's no work being done. So as this very poor year, and we've lost a lot of great people, we lost some loved ones, and lost some people who are very instrumental to our community. As this year comes to a close, I'm hoping for and looking forward to a better year in 2021. I just have to go on record and say that I did my part. I put my effort into supporting this administration, and currently I feel as if we all, the community, are being failed. So I'm hoping that the council now is willing to roll up its sleeves and do the job that it's truly tasked for, and that's holding this administration accountable to make sure that the public gets what it ultimately deserves. With that being said, Madam Clerk, have a wonderful evening. I'm glad you and your staff will get off at a decent hour, and my vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Khalid? Councilman Khalid?
Good night, everyone. My vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman Mendez. Councilman Mendez?
I couldn't hear, but he said friends and family. I think you're muted.
No, I didn't say friends. Let me say friends and family right now, Council President. But thank you. But before my vote, I do apologize. It's been a little difficult. I got my kids running around, but I have to be in this meeting, and I would like to thank all of my constituents from the Third Ward and the entire city that have been sending me. They've been sending me texts about DPW issues in all the department. I've been in contact with different departments. So I've been doing my work from here, and I'm always available and accessible. But before my vote, Madam Clerk, let me give this information to our Third Ward resident and the entire city. Yesterday there was the election, November election, as you all know, I was elected as your councilman again in the Third Ward. But there was another recount. The court ordered another recount. Yesterday was the final number. So once again, we won the election on this recount. We started this election in May. We won in May. We face a recount in June. We will recount. We won the election in November, and again last night. So it's been 4 times that we've been challenging, that we've been fighting for this position. I hope this is going to be the end. And my goal is to continue working for the Third Ward resident and the entire city to be that voice and to be, right there for you, available and accessible to your need. That's what I love. That's my only agenda, and that's what I'm expecting to do. So once again, thank you for all the support that I've been getting from all of you. And 2020 is almost up to the end. It's been a very difficult year. Through this pandemic, we've been losing so many lives, and I would like to put all those families that on my prayer. That with all the lives that we've been losing in the city of Paterson, with so many friends and family gone. Now, I'm definitely looking forward to hold this administration accountable in 2021. We're facing a lot of challenges in 2021. There's a budget and to be presented, and I'm here. I'm here to work and support what is good for Paterson, what is good for our community. And that's my only agenda, and I want everybody to know my direction. Now, this pandemic is still here. COVID-19 is still here. I know we're celebrating. It's the end of the year. But please, protect yourself. Use your face mask. Let's practice social distancing. I know that we all love to congregate and celebrate together, but this is not the time. This is not the time. This pandemic is here, and we have to protect ourselves. In order for us to protect our senior, our family member with pre-existing condition. So let's keep that in mind. And I would like to take this time to wish you all a healthy and beautiful 2021. God bless you, Paterson. Thank you for all your support. And I'm here just to work for the community. That's what I love to do, serving the people. My vote is yes, Madam Clerk. Thank you. Happy 2021, Paterson.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Velez?
Yes, Madam Clerk, thank you. First of all, I'm a blessed individual, councilman also, that, I guess Alex Mendez off the camera and everybody almost gone, but, I want to say special thanks to, the fire department, the police department, to Councilman Abdelaziz, to Councilman Mendez, because they came through my ward with their flow, that's why I say I'm a blessed councilman, that my ward sit in the middle of every ward, and whatever they're gonna do, they have to come through the fifth ward. I guess, that's a good thing. So I want to commend them. They had a good flow, they had a good vibe, they was up and down. And people appreciate that. And these times of difficulties and struggles and crucial moment, we lost a lot of friends and close friends, family members. We lost people that we know for many years. I lost a lot of seniors on the 20th Avenue, Governor Towers, and around the Fifth Ward, people that helped me on my campaign, people that loved me and called me for anything. And, this time hurts. This time has been hurting since March. And it's something that we cannot ignore. It has been a real depressing 2020. And I said it before, 2020, in the beginning of 2020 in January, everybody say 2020 is the year of division. Is the year of division. Yes. To be able to have 2020 vision, we had to get tested in different aspects. In this pandemic, also with the epidemic that we had with crime in the city, also with our personal life and issues, we've been tested in different shape and matter. One thing I could say is that I'm not perfect. I'm not $100 bill to be the one that everybody likes. But one thing I know, and I will always accept, and I always say, colleagues, City of Paterson, administration, if any chance in this 2020, beside all the trials that we have gone through, I have offended you with any shape or matter, please forgive me. I'm not perfect. Please forgive me. I'm not perfect. One thing I know is that God is so good that He will bring that refreshment, precious liquid that we need when we go into our oasis. That God will bring to us the sense and the wisdom to make sure that this city move forward. That when we say that we're going to work, we would our words in action. Not everything's going to be perfect. Not everything we're going to agree. But one thing is that everything we do be aligned with the heart of God and be aligned with the community need to make sure that we are those perfect legislators that people have voted for us to be in office. So saying that, hopefully 2021 is the year of thinking positive, is the year to move forward, is the year to make sure that we represent our office with dignity and justice for all. So God bless you. Happy 2021 and enjoy with your family. Stay safe and make sure that you stay safe at home And if you're going to visit your loved one, make sure you enjoy to the max. Keep it in mind that we cannot do nothing if the Lord do not accept it to do it. So God bless you all. Council President, thank you. I don't want to get blamed that we got late in the meeting. So thank you once again. Madam Clerk, thank you for your service. Employees, thank you for your service. Administration, thank you for everything you could do for our city. And my colleagues, once again, love you from the bottom of my heart. True and real leadership. You're a Councilman, Louis Velez. God bless you all. Happy New Year 2021. My vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman. Mr. President?
Well, I want to thank my colleagues for, making this meeting possible tonight. It was very important. We had a little issue earlier. We didn't think we were going to have at least 6 council members present. And there was an item in the agenda that needed 6 votes. And if we didn't take action before the year ended, it was going to cause some financial hardship, because it would have caused us to overspend our budget, which there's consequences to that, financial consequences. I want to thank Councilman Mendez for connecting from overseas to make sure that he was here today. I really appreciate you signing in. Thank you. And I just want to let my colleagues know that when I took office as president, it's been 6 months now, I did something that have not been done before, and I think that the situation called for it. And also, I needed to evaluate, some of the performance in the committees. And I will be assigning and making some minor changes to committee assignments. So council members, you will receive it within the next day or 2 via email. That way, any meetings that take place in the month of January, you'll be able to attend. And I just want to put that for the record. I want to wish everyone happy holidays. Be safe out there. Continue the social distancing. And I'm glad to be able to serve this community for the past 2.5 years. And good night.
And your vote, Councilman?
My vote is yes.
Thank you. The vote is 6 in favor, 3 absent. The special closeout meeting of December 29, 2020 is hereby adjourned. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. God bless you.
Very much.
Good night, thank you.
Good night. Happy New Year's, everyone.
Thank you. Happy New Year to everyone.